Well, starting off your career with getting arrested for a DUI is never a good thing. That's what happened to Trevor Etienne earlier this spring. But today, Wednesday, July 10th, that matter has come to be resolved. The Athens Banner Herald's Mark Weiser reporting about this in today's edition of that outlet. Etienne was in court on Wednesday about the DUI, and those charges have been dropped. Mark had some more detailed reporting about it here. This was a very important thing that happened on a lot of different levels. Obviously, you're starting to talk about a very serious matter whenever someone gets arrested for a DUI. Mark reporting that ETN received 12 months of probation, $852 fine, $45 month per month supervision free. He has to complete a substance abuse evaluation, 40 hours community service, alcohol risk reduction program, random drug tests and alcohol screenings. So he's not gotten out of the woodwork. He's not gotten out from underneath this thing completely. But, I do want to say it's always very serious. So it was just the driving was insane. If you read the police report, what the police were accusing him of was pretty serious. I thought the passing on twice over a double line. That's just you're asking to really get hurt or hurt someone. But with that said, if you don't have a DUI arrest, which he does not now, that means that it's very possible that he can play the season opener against Clemson. That's not something that Georgia's or Kirby's talked about. We get Kirby on Tuesday, so in 6 days we will know what he says. He should. I mean, it's my opinion that he should say one way or the other. Either he's playing or he's not. Not go through this whole rigmarole about we don't know yet. I mean, you've had months to know what's going to happen or not happen with any number of variables. So we should know on Tuesday. I expect him to play against Clemson. He did not get it. The DUI charges were dropped. If he doesn't have a DUI, then it would be unfair to him not to play. But this matter is now behind ETN and Georgia, and they're going to need him this season. They don't have a returning running back who's got a bunch of carries. They have a lot of running backs returning. They don't have a bunch of guys that have, a slew of yards or anything like that. He is the most experienced person they have coming back. You got Roderick Robinson, Branson Robinson, and you've got the two freshmen. But ETN really was the important part of this season. So when he got when he was arrested in March, that put the beginning of the season in serious jeopardy. I mean, at Georgia, the suspension is 10% of the season. Mark Richt used to round that up to 2 games. But we've seen over time that there have been fewer and fewer DUIs that have stuck for whatever reason. Now, one other thing to remember here is that ETN was 19 when he was pulled over. So any drinking at all would result in an automatic DUI, as I understand it, with state law in Georgia. So, maybe they, I don't know why the charges were dropped. I couldn't say. But I would expect him to fully play this season unless there's an injury. What does that mean for Georgia? Well, and I've not checked the line for the Clemson game, and I'm going to do that right now. I don't think that really shouldn't affect that. I would think that would not affect that line, but I will check it right now just in case. Maybe someone wants to grab a half a point or something like that. I also think that line is just going to go up. No, it's still 13.5. I do think that line is going to go up a little bit at least. I think it's going to approach 15, and we'll just see from there. I don't, once you get past a touchdown number or a natural number in football, that's something that kind of people. It seems like they pile on more at that point or less, however you want to put it. Just looking at some of these lines here too. A&M 1.5 at home against Notre Dame. It's not a great opening weekend. Georgia Tech, a 20.5 point favor over Georgia State. LSU 6.5 over SC. Boston College. A 3 touchdown dog to Florida State at home in Ireland. I think that game is. So we'll just see. Oh, no, that game's at Florida State, excuse me. Because Florida State is a 12-point favorite, that's not a lot against Georgia Tech. I feel like that's not a lot to me. But we'll just see. It's not a great weekend, and you've got, you know, the Stanford TCU game might be one of the better games out there. But we will see Etienne play against Clemson now. That's my suspicion. Now, again, nobody's confirmed that. There were some folks talking on Dawg Post the other day about how he was not going to play in that game, and I wanted to correct it real quick, which I did, which is that's not been said. So we'll just see how this goes. I would expect to see him. I would completely expect to see him play against Clemson in that season opener. Here's our buddies from Red Zone. They've got some new stuff in. All right, this is the Champion brand, UGA Champion Georgia football helmet tri-blend T-shirt. A neat little old school, I would say Kevin Butler, although Kevin I think only had one bar. So this is a Drew Butler. No, Drew had a real face mask. This is that old school quarterback theme. So if you're kind of old school, you like it, I'm going to put a link down below, and you can check that out. Our buddies at Red Zone are getting ready for the season, and you need to be getting ready for the season by dropping by there over on Clayton and down Clayton Street. You should know that, downtown in Athens. And I think with Etienne, getting back to the video here, he's got to show better judgment. The police allege going 80 to 90 in a 50. Like, that's fast, man. Like, 90 anywhere is fast. But in a 50, that's just too fast. And double yellow lines. I don't know why these guys are doing this on my side of town either. That's another thing I'm not super pumped up about, just as a person who has kids, is this stuff is seemingly always on the east side. So I'm not jumping up and down about the decisions, period, but that it's, right on the east side of town is not ideal for some of us. But I think this is a moment where, for Etienne, he does what he's supposed to do. He gets through all of this and moves forward. It won't be something people will remember for very long. This will be the last time that I talk about it, because it was not a smart decision, and the authorities, the powers that be, decided to drop the charges for DUI, but the other stuff still remains. I mean, it's not like he didn't get off completely free here. I mean, he's there's some problems with some of this stuff. I mean, random drug testing, from what Mark reported, that or alcohol testing, that's not good. Like, that's not, I just wouldn't want the burden of it as a person who's, not using illegal drugs. I wouldn't just want someone to say, well, come on down today, we need to test you. I mean, well, I've got, I'm with my girl, or, I'm in Chattanooga or something. It'd be just a real big burden. The embarrassment of it is, it goes danger to others, danger to yourself, stupidity. I mean, like, it just comes to mind right now, Mike Gundy, the Oklahoma State coach, I wouldn't say he endorsed the crossing over a double yellow line portion of this, but the DUI thing, his comment yesterday at Big 12 Media Days, or Monday, that's reckless talk from an adult. And just completely idiotic statement from Mike Gundy. If you are going to drink and drive, you are a moron. I mean, you're condoning it, Mike Gundy. You're talking about how, I've done that a million times. Why are you saying that? Like, what are you talking about? What kind of, example are you to your players, saying, oh, well, it's okay to have 3 or 4 drinks? It's not. It's not. And by the way, in NIL world and, college football pay world, college football coaches paying world, there's no explanation for anyone not being able to call an Uber, a Lyft, a taxi, a Camel, and just get it done, or your boys. I mean, there's no reason to be in these situations. Everybody's been in college, or at least I have. And yeah, you do dumb stuff. But I tell you, this is reckless. And, Gundy sort of saying, oh, well, no, dude, no, not, It's not okay. And I think, I would imagine Etienne has, you know, processed all of this and taken it from there. But it is something that is serious. It should be taken seriously. But now the resolution of this has come today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.